Alrighty guys, got a little thing here today. Well, not little, it's kind of big. But I've pretty much just been driving this car and thrashing it. Like I said, I've pretty much just been driving this thing and thrashing this thing. I'm having so much fun with this car. Every time I get in it, I you know, 4,500 RPM, click second, keep my foot into it, and this thing is just, it's fun right now. I haven't turned it up. The boost controller's been off the whole time. I haven't even, I think the most I've revved this thing out to is like 6,200, and that's as far as I've gone. I'm slowly breaking everything in. Car seems to be doing great. There's a couple of noises in it, and I don't know if that's just standard for solid mounted everything. There's no bushings in anything, so it's probably just normal, but I'm having fun thrashing it. Nothing's broke yet, fingers crossed. Told you guys my 160 thermostat is here. We're going to stick that in, same thing as before. We saw that, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. We're going to stick that in, rebleed the coolant again. There's nothing wrong with the stock temp thermostat I have in the car. It's a 187. But when it's 95 degrees out and I'm climbing a long hill, there's a lot of hills here, it creeps 210-ish, 212-ish, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to see if I can keep this car under 200 on a 95 degree day going up a hill. Will it matter? Who knows? We'll find out. But one thing we have to do is in this box. And I hope it's not damaged, because you see the big old red fragile sticker. I thought there was another one. Yeah, another one there, and I got this big old dent in it. Let's see if it's okay. You can see this thing's all wavy. I hope it's not screwed up, because it took me three and a half weeks to get. So hopefully he packaged this very well. I use these, so. And this is. Anybody guess? Anybody guess? I went to Chisel Performance because he pretty much had the best prices for these. I didn't want to spend a fortune. You know, some of these guys sell these tanks for $500, $600, $700, $800, and I don't see why. I contemplated building my own. I really did. I thought about it because it would be good practice, but I don't have a way to bend this, because this is just two pieces bent and welded together. Oh god damn, it packs this crap in there. Anyway, oh, there's more. This is a 5.9 gallon. Everybody's like, oh, go with the bigger tank, but you know, this car was originally built around a water to air, so it was kind of difficult to find room for this. And fingers crossed, I did my measuring right, and this will work. You could see the pump in there. It's a Rule 2000. You know, it's not the biggest pump. You know, fingers crossed. If I have to upgrade it later, so be it, but at least this gets me going. This is, a lot of people complain about this lid leaking. I saw Race Part Solution makes a nice billet one, so for like 90 bucks or something. If we have to upgrade, sure. But this was like $325 to my door, I think this was. 1 inch. So you got your return, your feed, and your drain. Let's see what size that is, and obviously your connections here. But I'm excited to get this in the car. I was going to run -16 AN hoses to this thing, but I think for the time being I'm just going to get some barb fittings here and run that clear hose to it. and see how that works, because I'd like to upgrade to like 1.25" hose. Kind of pisses me off that those are bent, but shipping companies, my luck with them. We'll just bend those back down. Nothing, slight modification on a $300. But yeah, it's like $300, $320 or something, shipped to my door. Not terrible. With a pump installed. Let's see if we can get this into the car, huh? I'm gonna try to get it right there. I'm not hopeful. Well, it fits. It's going to be fun to fill that with ice, but it fits. I pull that all the way up. I did not take into account. I'm probably going to have to put a spacer on that bar to hold this up. If there wasn't fuel in here, I'd just fucking weld a strip of aluminum. Alright, we're back. Gonna try to finish up, well, mostly finish up this water tank install. This whole, building the car after it's already done is not the funnest thing in the world. One thing I had to do is move my giant power wire. You can see my 2 over, 2 under, 2 out, whatever you want to call it, so I can snug this tank up against the tub and mount it. That's in the way. It's got to go. I already moved the ground from the engine. I got these nice little covers now. I moved the ground from the engine, and the only other thing there is the alternator wire, and I think I have room to move that. Well, I jumped online, ordered up 15 feet of 1/0 fittings, a firewall thing, because I don't have one in the front. It's just ran through the firewall and it sucks. So a firewall, and this is all from Fastronics. I like a lot of the stuff they make. I get it on Amazon, but I like a lot of their stuff. And little booties for the each side. So we got to remove this big monster that's in here. I run that. Once we get that out of the way, we can actually get the tank in and mount. What I did was I cut one of the legs off, one of the mounting tabs, so I can snug this up to it. I got some Vibrant 1-inch MPT to -16. I'm gonna go to Home Depot so I can get a ball valve for the drain. I got some -16 fittings. I'm waiting on some more stuff from Monkey Fab to come in so I can finish the hose routing. I'm not gonna bore you with hose routing, but we'll get this installed hopefully tonight, because I'm trying to make a cruise in tomorrow in Brewster, New York. Let's see what we do. I am going to change up this manual battery kill eventually and go with a solid state relay with a switch between me, well, the one in the back, which you have to have, and then I'll put one up in the reach of me as well. I really hope I didn't do this the right way and zip tie everything, because that'll suck. anywhere on this cable. It's got 2 off fitting on it, but it's just it's definitely smaller. When you do this type of thing, make sure you buy a good welding cable. Ta-da! One done. 4 to go. But I gotta put this on the firewall. It's funny, as I stared at this thing for like 4 minutes trying to figure out how this works. Because I'm like, well, if I bolt it to the firewall from the outside, how do I put a wire on here without shorting it? You bolt it from the outside, but you bolt this facing in, so this goes through your hole right here. This is much better than the other option with that big 1.25" one. That's a pain in the ass because you got to tighten it up from both sides together, which I'm going to do because I think it's loose again. But I got to get this fitted into the firewall. Hopefully that hole I got in there, this size, will work great. Got some Allen heads that kind of fit. They thread in, and it's just plastic, so it don't really matter. You can do it. Strip it out a little bit, the threads you just made. Ow! Fucker got hot. Now I just gotta find nuts to fit. Power wire completely routed around. This is 15 feet, and that only comes from the firewall back here, so you can see how much leftover I'm going to have. You know, 1.5 feet, so you're probably better off 20 feet. Alright, so I don't like anything about this. I don't even know what to do. Like, I was hoping I'd have enough room to scoot that over. But if I go back to make the fittings fit, I ain't gonna be able to get ice in there. Well, let me finish the power cable so at least I can drive this thing still. Okay, got all power wire done. Better off getting 20 feet because this is all I have left from a 15-footer. Let's make sure it all works. Probably help to have my keys. Thanks, that means it works. Yay! We successfully routed a battery cable correctly. I still hate this though. I gotta redo this alternator wire too. This thing might have to get mounted at an angle for now. Smaller battery maybe. I got it in. It's not perfect. I gotta make a mount still, because this is just aluminum floor there. I gotta put a brace across to hold it, but I just bolted it in so it doesn't jump around. I'm gonna get rid of that eventually. I'm wondering if, you know, I could kick this fuel cell over next, kick the battery in and bring it in. I don't know. Something's got to change, because this is gonna suck to fill with ice. But that's in. It's almost time to fill that puppy up and get some lower intake temps. For that intercooler, getting no airflow, literally, and no water through it. It doesn't do too bad. I mean, I can only imagine what it would go to on a pass, full boost for, you know, 10 seconds or less. But yeah, we're not there. I'm driving around and I've never seen over 110, and that was on a 100-degree day. Well, I'm waiting on, like I said, I'm waiting on my fittings from Monkey Fab to come in with the hose. I'm not going to bother you with hose routing. It's going to go from here to there, hook up to the water lines that are off the cooler. Well, once that goes in, I'm going to just put the pump on a switch. Like I said, I have nothing left on the MS3 to control it. When I switch to a Dominator, I will let the Dominator control that water pump. When I go to Dominator, I'm going to let it control as much as it possibly can. If I can get rid of the 8 switch panel and go to a 4, and the only reason I want to go to a 4 is for a line lock parachute solenoid. Because what I want to do is, since my parachute will be on a push button, I want to have an on-off switch, so, you know, I'm not in the garage and I accidentally hit the button on the steering wheel, deploy the chute. And like 2 other things, like an override maybe for the fan, but, you know, nothing crazy. I want to be able to start it with my key again, which I could switch now, but I don't feel like rewiring it yet. Anyway, that is the icebox. Hopefully the next video will be driving and I can show you guys what kind of temp. You know, 80-degree day, if I can get a sub-ambient, because it's 90% ice in that thing, it's going to be awesome. Like always, guys, grab a cold beer. It's late. I'm going to grab some dinner because I'm starving, and take a shower. Get in your garage, work on your hot rod. It's a lot more fun to drive it than not. Have a good night.